Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to teach you about the law of gender, or the law of the yin-yang, the balance of the divine masculine with the divine feminine. Now, everything in this universe has its masculine or yang energy and its feminine or yin energy. Everything is a spectrum. Remember, the law of polarity is a polarity between the masculine, the yang, or the feminine, the yin. And moving forward, I'll probably start referring to them as yang and yin versus masculine and feminine. It's just less to say. So, now, the key here is neither one is better than the other. Each one has their benefits and their cons. Each one has their light aspects and their shadow aspects. There's the shadow side of being too masculine, and there's the shadow side of being too feminine. Typically, in this society, especially, and for the last, I don't know, thousands of years or so in human society, we have unfortunately predominantly been yang focused. If you look at governments, if you look at corporations, if you just look at society in general, we value the yang and the masculine over the feminine and the yin. And as such, as individuals and components of society, we are typically lacking in our yin or feminine energy. Now, that's not true for everyone. There are plenty of people watching this video that may be instead too heavily yin focused and need to add some yang, some action, some force into what they're doing. And vice versa, there could be some people that, well, not vice versa, but in some people could be perfectly balanced that are watching this. But the key here is you're looking for the balance between the two energies, and also the knowing and the understanding that you use the right energy for the right purpose. There are things where the masculine energy is much more useful for, and there's things the feminine energy is much more useful for. And we need to be dynamic and flowing enough within ourselves and within our energy and our consciousness that we can easily move between the two polarities of our nature, so that we can be masculine when we need to, but then we can also be feminine. We need to be, many times we should be more yin focused, more feminine focused, say when we're dealing with, our kids or our spouse. And then at work, we may need to be more yang focus, where we have to take action and drive and lead and get things done. And again, before we get too much farther in the video, I want to make sure everyone is clear and understanding of what I'm saying here. I am not talking about, when I say masculine and feminine energy, we're not talking about men and women. We're not talking about sexual organs. We're not talking about biology. We're not talking about gender, the social construct. We're talking about the energy of the universe, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Regardless of how you choose to identify yourself, whether you're asexual, whether you're man or female, and whether you are of any definition that you choose yourself. As you watch this channel, I'm all about belief. Your belief shapes your reality. You choose and believe who you are. And that applies to your biological gender. That applies to how you construct and perceive of yourself. I'm not here to say you have to be a man or a woman, or that you have to be a balance of a man or a woman. It's got nothing to do with sex organs or biology. It's about the energy, regardless of how you identify, regardless of what your outer package looks like and how you identify in your inner package. You can look into yourself and understand and realize there are times when you're embodying yang, and there's times when you're embodying yin, and that's okay. That's got nothing to do with how we perceive of ourselves. So rest assured, I am not here claiming, any of that stuff. I am very much open, whatever you want to do. However you want to perceive and be in your life, is your choice. It's your business. It's none of my business. However, what I can do is share with you some of these spiritual laws relative to yin and yang, divine masculine and divine feminine, so that you can use the right tool for the right job in your life and ultimately live more in balance. And that's how you end up creating and manifesting the life of your dreams. So, as we said, society has favored yang, which typically yang is action and doing. Part of yang is the action and doing. If you want to look at it at its core, at the very core of what yang and yin, yang is more doing and acting. Yin is more being and intuitive. Those are kind of the bases of these two energies. Yin is the nurturing energy. Yin is wisdom. Yin is resting, and can feel like resting if you've been masculine for a large portion of your life, always charging ahead and taking action. Yin can feel like, well, this is just resting. Well, no, you're just not used to your energy being more inward than outward in that way. Yin is wisdom. Yin is rest. Yin is being. Yin is love. Yin is creativity. Yin is a flowing energy. Yin is nurturing. Yin is emotion. Yin is empath. You know, if you're an empath, you have yin and divine feminine energy within yourself somewhere. Contrasting with the yang, yang is knowledge. Where yin is wisdom, yang is knowledge. Yang is action. Yang is that conquering, hard, forceful energy. Logic. Yin is drive. Yin is willpower. I'm sorry, yang. Yang is conquer. Yang is logic. Yang is drive. Yang is willpower. Yang is that type A personality can start to dip into the shadow of yang, where, you know, that micromanaging energy, that hard, forceful energy, that conquering energy, like that's sort of now we're dipping into the shadow of the yang. Goals, force, you know, that is the yang side. And the yin, of course, you know, wisdom, being, things like that. Again, not about man or woman, not about gender construct, it's about the energy. The key is to find the balance within yourself and to use the right energy for the right purpose. Each of them is useful, and by saying balance, I don't mean that every day you've got to keep a notebook out and be like, well, I was masculine for the first 3 hours of the day, so I should be feminine now for the next 3 hours. And then when I get home, I'll be masculine when I first get home because I'll put the groceries away, you know, or I'll go outside and I'll mow the lawn, you know, fix the fence, and, you know, I'll get the kids ready, you know, ready from school and all of that. And then after that, I'll watch TV and be in feminine energy. Like, we don't have to be that micromanagey about it. But just understand that if you've gone through long periods of your life and you're embodying the same kind of energy, it may be useful to you to go, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy states, I can take some of this yang and flip it into yin to give a different flavor to my experience. And maybe it'll be useful for some of the challenges that insofar haven't yielded to the masculine. Maybe I can bring yin to it, the feminine, and I'll be able to find a way around or a way through what I'm working on. Every phase of our life it's useful to either have the masculine or the feminine. So you may be in a phase, and it may be a month, a day, a week, a month, a year, where you're just mostly masculine, because that's what's needed of you to complete the phase of your life that you're in. At the same, if you've seen our video on the law of rhythm, you'll know we talked about the phases. You want to go with the flow of the phase. Conversely, though, there may be a phase of your life where it would be really useful to switch to the yin energy. Let's say you're approaching burnout with the masculine energy, the yang, and it would be wise of you to switch to the yin, that resting energy, that introspective energy, that nurturing energy, the energy of the cultivation of wisdom, the energy of intuition, the energy of creativity. Maybe that's where you need to be for a little bit to kind of let your masculine batteries refill. Use some of the feminine energy that you haven't used in a while. Let's cultivate that. Let's work on that. And it's going to give you a different perspective, because each of these energies is a whole different perspective on the world. Each of these energies would prescribe a different set of actions in any scenario that you find yourself in. Each of these energies will give you a different perspective on the things in and around your life. And as we learned from the other videos that we've posted here, perspective is everything. Mindset, belief is everything. So if you could have a way to tap into different energies that give you a different mindset or belief about what's going on in your reality, that gives you the opportunity to see from a new vantage point, maybe a different way that you can play the game, so that and then employ, you know, because we're taking a break in the feminine right now, we can go back into the masculine once we have the new perspective that the feminine has found, that we can then go through, or vice versa. Maybe you're someone who is mostly feminine, you know, you're always in the ethereal realm, and you're always in intuition, you're always a nurturer, and, you know, maybe the time for you to nurture others is over, and it's time for you to step into action. It's time for you to move into more shaping the reality around you versus being in the just that wisdom, knowing, being, you know, no motivating energy to take action place. We need both. They are both equal to each other. Neither one is better or worse than the other. They both have their good qualities and they both have their bad qualities. But the goal, again, is balance. And not balance in a day, and a week, and a month, but balance in our life. Allow yourself to move fluidly between masculine and feminine. That's completely okay. It is perfectly fine. You don't have to pick one and go, well, I was born a man and my father was a man and so was his father. Neat how, you know, funny how that works. So I'm a man and I must be masculine. Like, I have to be masculine. I can't be feminine. I can't have emotions, you know, I can't be intuitive. I can't have wisdom, you know, I have to be knowledge and logic and hard and rough. No. It is the mark of wisdom to allow yourself to flow between the polarities that are present within, to allow yourself to flow between the masculine and the feminine sides of yourselves. And the same thing for those that are caught in the divine feminine. It's okay to be masculine. It's okay to be forceful sometimes. It's okay to assert yourself. It's okay to have goals and to go conquer and to engage in that energy. It's okay for you to be that hard energy when you need to be. It's okay to have knowledge and to seek and strive for action. It's okay to be logical. We don't have to stay in these ethereal qualities either. Neither one is better or worse. It's just unfortunate that in our society, human society, for the longest time now, it's been such a focus on the divine masculine. The divine masculine has conquered and subdued the divine feminine within ourselves and our society, because it goes within, what's within reflects to what's without. So within, divine masculine conquered, so without, divine masculine has conquered. But now we are seeing that balance. We are seeing that balance restructure. Especially, I would say, since we crossed the year 2000, and it's really been ramping up now as we've gotten into the 2020s and such, that you're really seeing divine feminine concepts and divine feminine energy is starting to balance. Why? Because the universe, the law of rhythm, the universe works in rhythm. So when the divine masculine began to become more and more dominant, and it stayed that way for quite a long time, by our perspective, but by the universe's perspective, where time is a human construct, time doesn't exist. It doesn't really have any concept of time in that sense. So it's been, for the universe, it is now time for the divine feminine to begin to take over, for the divine feminine to first balance. But as is natural with anything, when you try to correct a balance, more often than not, you overshoot. More often than not, you overshoot past, and then the divine feminine will be the dominant energy, more than likely, in society. For how long, who knows? And then eventually the divine masculine will come back, and ideally, it's a pendulum that perhaps another cycle will enter, will be when we are more balanced, where these two sides are balanced equally. And then, as people, as a human race, I believe that when we have these energies balanced, that's when we can see the greatest change. That's when we can become our greatest manifestation of a species, is when we can balance those energies within. Because whether one energy, masculine, feminine, or masculine, is dominant, we are not being the best that we can be, because we're not being balanced within ourselves. Anytime you're leaning towards one or the other for an extended period of time, it's useful in a phase. When war happens, war is a divine masculine kind of an energy, and it's the shadow side of that energy. We shouldn't be engaging in war. But if we are going to be engaged in war, then we may as well engage the divine masculine when we need it to accomplish the goal. And vice versa, when we're going into the phase of rebuilding and reconstructing and needing to recover, needing to heal, needing the creativity. Once the war is over, then the artists come back and the poets come back and the creativity comes back and the nurturing and the wisdom comes back that the divine masculine has made the space for. Now the divine feminine will flourish, and she will come and she will help to heal and to rebuild. And we need both of those things. So that is the law of gender, or otherwise known as the law of yin yang. If you've seen the yin yang symbol, which we're pretty much born knowing it at this point, with the black and the white in the circle, with the black dot in the white space and the white dot in the black space. That is essentially the same principle, yin and yang, that there's balance within everything. And understand, we don't need to have both of them every day, every hour, every minute of the day. But we do need to recognize, if we've been on a binge of one or the other, perhaps it would be useful to consciously engage the other end of the polarity, and just to see what does our world look like from the other perspective. And I guarantee you, if you do that, you're going to see and think about new things and ways that you can be in relation to what's around you, such that you can change the world around you. If your dream life has not quite manifested yet, perhaps you need to dabble in the other energy you're not busy being, such that you can engage with it and get a new perspective on your life. And maybe you'll hear the new path that you need to take once you switch energy. Maybe you've come as far as you can go in one energy and you need the other for a while. There's no harm in it. Dabble in it. Move back and forth. It's not scary. It's a fun experience to discover a new side of yourself, to realize you're not pigeonholed into what society tells you need to be. You choose. You can pick which energy you're embodying or what balance of energy. Maybe today I'm 25% masculine, 75% feminine. And maybe tomorrow I'll be 10% feminine and 90% masculine. Who knows? You know, it's whatever the universe needs of you in that moment to walk the path towards what you're trying to achieve. Well, my friends, I hope you make it a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Peace.